Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Jack Wistersill.
I'm JC Wistersill.
And I'm Tom Wistersill.
We want to welcome you to another edition of
From the Couch!
We're bringing back one of the fan favorites, most watched episodes of all time, the NFL Mock Draft. This is the 70th episode.
70th episode, JT.
Exactly.
Good job, Jack. Pretty exciting. JT, is this your favorite episode of the year?
This would be my favorite episode because not only do we get to play GM and make predictions and try to figure out what teams will do, but we also go head to head and we always love a little competition. You got the best of me last year. I was not happy about that. So I went extra hard this year trying to figure out what NFL teams are trying to do. And I'm excited to get underway.
All right. Our two favorite teams are, as you can tell, well represented here.
Yeah.
Amongst the three of us. We'll see what each team does when we get to them. So, Jack, what are the rules of engagement? How are we doing this?
We'll go back and forth one by one, picking every single team, each player per team. It'll be very interesting to see how you guys pick differently. A lot the same. I know there's a lot of people that think someone's going number one, but some people might change it for certain ways, so who knows? So let's get started. With the first overall pick, we have the 1-15 Jacksonville Jaguars, and it'd be surprising if they didn't have the same one here, but JT, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I'm not a shock jock. This is going to be Trevor Lawrence. He's too phenomenal of a player, franchise quarterback. It's been locked in for months. It's Trevor Lawrence.
It's been locked in for years, I would say. Trevor Lawrence, 100%.
I like the charity donations that the Jacksonville Jaguars fans have already been giving him. It's a great way to welcome in your new quarterback.
You bet.
So let's go to you, Dad. Number 2, we got the New York Jets coming in at 2-14.
I think they're excited. Adding Wilson from BYU, another quarterback off the board. Number 2, what do you think about Zach?
Yeah, Zach Wilson's the pick. As soon as Sam Darnold was sent out, Wilson can really make any throw. Got incredible arm strength, escape the pocket. Love the player. Excited to see what he does in the Big Apple.
Okay.
With the 3rd overall pick, we have the 49ers, who traded for this pick from the Houston Texans.
Yep, it's going to be Mac Jones. I know those rumors, everything. It's Kyle Shanahan's guy. He's wanted from the start when they moved up. Love the way he operates in the system, the accuracy. It's going to be Mac Jones to me.
So the only reason they trade up is to get a franchise quarterback. So They have to believe that they have it. I'm not so sure they're picking the right guy, but they will pick Mac Jones.
I'm a big Jimmy G believer, but I have to agree with them. It's over. The 4th overall pick, we have the Atlanta Falcons coming in at 4-12. You're up.
Am I up? Oh, we're going back and forth this year. This is where it gets interesting. I went back and forth on 2 players over the last few days. My gut tells me when it comes to pick, they're going quarterback. And the reason is they need their franchise quarterback. And they're going to look at next year's class and say, we're hopefully going to be better than we were. Mm-hmm. We don't want to trade up. The class isn't as deep. Justin Fields is going to be the pick for the Atlanta Falcons at number 4. Shocking everybody, they're picking Justin Fields. That's what I got.
I like it because that's what I would do, but it's not what the Falcons are going to do. They're going to take Kyle Pitts, the generational tight end. Arthur Smith coming in, new head coach. He wants to win right now, so they're going to bring in this awesome tight end, pair him next to Hayden Hurst, Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones. Yes, Julio's still going to be a Falcon, and they're going to try to win now with this unbelievable tight end prospect.
It's an interesting one there. The 5th overall pick, we have the Cincinnati Bengals coming in at 4-11-1.
The Cincinnati Bengals, they're doing it. They're reuniting Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow. They're going to go wide receiver and shock the world. I think they're going to want to reunite that fantastic duo from college. Chase is a phenomenal wide receiver prospect. He can really do it all. A dominant number 1, and him and Burrow are going to dominate the NFL together.
I totally agree. They're going to be so excited and looking at that potential. And then they're going to watch film from last year and see Joe Burrow getting knocked down over and over and over again. And they're picking Penei Sewell from Oregon because they need offensive line. Mm-hmm. Burrow can't be a good quarterback, can't even throw the ball to your receiver if he's always running away from somebody chasing him. So they're going O-line, Penei Sewell to the Bengals.
With the 6th overall pick, we have the Miami Dolphins, who acquired this pick from the Philadelphia Eagles.
So the Dolphins are interesting because I think they're all excited about their in my mock draft, they're all excited about who they are targeting, and then all of a sudden Pitts falls to them. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden they have to change. They're like, oh, God, we can't pass up on him. We got to give to somebody like that to throw to. He's the best athlete in the draft. And they're just going, we like linemen. We like quarterback. Who knows where we want to go? But the bottom line is we can't pass up Kyle Pitts is going to fall to the Dolphins at 6. They won't even take the minutes to run up and get their pick in so they can get Kyle Pitts to the Dolphins.
So same thought process in terms of the Dolphins being excited this guy falls to them. Different position. They're going to take Penei Sewell. Love his potential to be a franchise left tackle. Move Austin Jackson over to the right side. They traded Eric Flowers today off of guard. Kick Robert Hunt inside. Really build out that offensive line for Tua. I love Sewell. There's nothing he can't do. At unparalleled athleticism at the tackle spot. And Tua will be lucky to have him protecting his blind side.
Yep, no
Interesting to hear you guys both have the young quarterbacks getting protected by the same guy, but which quarterback will get the protection?
Yeah,
It's gonna be
good
interesting
point.
to see.
Good point, Chad.
With the 7th overall pick, we have the Detroit Lions coming in at 5'11".
Am I up? You need to tell who's up. We're not. You know,
Well,
you
sometimes
gotta-
I just expect you
we
guys to
gotta
go with
pull-
the flow.
Well, I don't know what the flow is.
Well, the Detroit Lions are coming in at
Okay,
5'11".
here we go.
They need some help.
Yes, they do. All right. So they need a receiver. There's lots of options for them. They're going to take the best receiver out there. That's Jamar Chase. People forget, since he didn't play last year, that he set the SEC season record in touchdowns and in receiving yards. He's an all-pro in the making. And with the new quarterback situation up there and some other new players, the Lions could be pretty good next year. I'd be a little concerned if I was in their division with some question marks, but that's just me talking.
Yeah. Once again, so important to preface this. Not what I would do. Think this is what's going to happen. They're going to fall in love with the speed and the ability to take the top off the defense that Jalen Waddle possesses, and they're going to take him at number 7. Give Jared Goff a number 1 receiver who is an explosive threat.
Be interesting to see how those Vikings great cornerbacks go against whoever wide receiver they take. At the 8th overall pick, we have the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, this is Rashawn Slater for me. Get your franchise left tackle to protect Sam Darnold in there. Slater did really well against Chase Young. That was the best game he's played, and he's going to be going against a lot of guys like that in this division. But Slater will be the pick.
100% agree with you, JT. They need an offensive tackle. Slater's the guy. He's been the guy for a while.
With the 9th overall pick, we have the Denver Broncos coming in at 5'11".
So Broncos need help in multiple positions. They can't pass up on Trey Lance here. He's a work in progress. He needs 2 years to develop, but his upside is as good, if not better, than anybody else's here. I think Trey Lance is the pick.
Yeah, totally agree. Too special in terms of running the ball and with that cannon of an arm. May take some time. They can figure out what Drew Lock's got going on. Trade him if he starts to play a little better. But I agree. They're not passing on Trey Lance.
With the 10th overall pick, we have the Dallas Cowboys, JT.
Yeah, the Cowboys, they're going to get one of their lockdown corners on the outside, Patrick Surtain, pair him back with his former college teammate, Trevon Diggs, who's the other corner opposite of him. I like Surtain's ability to shut guys down in the NFL. 38 career starts for Surtain. He's an experienced guy, and he'll be locking down guys in the Big D.
So I firmly believe they'll take Patrick Surtain, and totally agree with you. But this is the Cowboys we're talking about. Who knows who they'll take? They're always a wild card. Jerry Jones falls in love with somebody, and all of a sudden, boom, there's somebody there going, everybody's looking around going, who? Who? So that's who they should take. He's the best player at their biggest need, and they should take Surtain, best corner in the draft, but we'll wait to see what happens.
That's through the top 10. Now, quick point, all top 5 quarterbacks you have gone in the top 10. Is that correct?
Yes, I do.
And you have Justin
Justin
Fields
Fields
going long
has
way
not
down.
yet gone for me.
It's be interesting to see what happens draft night. Now, starting out right outside the top 10, the 11th pick, we have the New York Giants. Starting with you.
So, in my mock draft, I have 2 Bama receivers still left, right? I got both Waddle and Smith here, so the Giants have to choose. And they're picking Waddle because he's just a little bit faster. And they need to blow the top off the roof, and so I think they take Jalen Waddle. To me, either one's could be really good. I think they're on potential. They pick Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I think the Giants are actually okay at receiver, which is why I'm going to have him take Micah Parsons, a guy who can man the middle of that defense. A freak linebacker that had he played this year, I think he'd be a surefire top 10 pick. Joe Judge is able to scoop him up at 11.
Is that the first defensive player?
That is the first. And if that doesn't happen, if there's no...
No, Patrick Surtain was our first.
Yeah, in mine, though, if that doesn't happen, it'll be the first time ever that a defensive player is not taken in the top 10 of the NFL
That
draft.
would be amazing. Coming in at the 12th pick, we have the Philadelphia Eagles, who acquired this pick from the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, and we're going to stay on the defensive side of the ball for me. J.C. Horn, Darius Slay's not getting any younger. I think they're going to pair a guy opposite for him, have him learn from him. I love the intensity and tenacity that Horn plays with. A little worried about PIs early, but I still think Eagles fans are going to fall in love with this guy.
I think this is where I separate myself from you, JT, by the number of right answers I get. You're doing too many defensive players in the draft. This is an offensive draft. The GMs watch and they look and they want receivers and they get so excited. So Devontae Smith is going here to the Eagles. He's the Heisman Trophy winner. He catches everything. He gets open. They're going to get all excited. Eagles Nation's going to be fired up, and that's the pick right there.
Interesting to see. With the 13th overall pick, we have the LA Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Chargers, I think you got to get Justin Herbert, his blindside protection, bring in Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech, the imposing 6'5" tackle. Love how strong he is, and I think him and Herbert are going to be together for a very long time.
I'm staying on the O-line as well, but I'm going with Vera Tucker here. And I think, same reasons why. I just think Vera Tucker is a little more versatile, can play guard and tackle.
Yes.
And so I think he's the pick there for the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Coming up the 14th overall pick, we have 0 Super Bowls.
Oh,
wait. It's the Minnesota Vikings. Is that right?
So
we're
going to start with me here. So, I got excited about a few players for the Vikings, but I came down to the bottom line of they have to rush the passer better. Mm-hmm. And so I think Jalen Phillips is the guy. He's powerful, he's big, he's long, and they desperately need to put pressure on the quarterback in Minnesota. Jalen Phillips out of Miami is going to the Vikings at 14.
Yeah, it would be kind of nice to pair pass rusher opposite Danielle Hunter coming back from this season. And I'm so happy you listened to me and how much I love Jalen Phillips on our past episodes. I totally agree. He's going to be the pick here. Love the bend. Him and Hunter are going to get after it on the outside. And I will be very excited to watch this Vikings defense get after it with Jalen Phillips rushing the quarterback.
I'm so great you said bend. You said he's got great bend. That's awesome.
Get it in.
I know. Last time he said it like 6 times.
The 15th overall pick, we have the New England Patriots coming in at 7-9, so they're not used to being in this position. So we're going to see. JT,
so honestly, if we're going to project trades, I think they're going to trade up for Justin Fields. We're not doing that. In my version, Justin Fields falls to them. I love Fields and think he is the 3rd best quarterback in that class, but all these concerns and rumors we're hearing, I think it's going to hurt his draft stock, and to me, he's going to fall, and New England capitalizes on it.
Wow. You think Justin Fields is going to last to the 15th pick? Huh?
I think he's going to fall, or trade up.
Well, I mean, somebody might trade up, but it's if he's going to trade up before 15 to grab a Justin Fields, I believe. So I think the Patriots. You already mentioned him. If Micah Parsons is still there at 15, I think the Patriots grab him. I think Belichick will love him. He'll anchor the middle of that defense with a defensive coach to get Micah Parsons there. Great pass coverage, great tackler. I think it's a steal at 15 for the Patriots.
With the 16th overall pick, we have the Arizona Cardinals coming in our first team at 500.
Let's see, the Cardinals. I'm on the defensive side of the ball. This is where I have Caleb Farley going, the corner from Virginia Tech with great ball skills. He's a lockdown corner. They need one, and there's their guy, Caleb Farley, at 16 to the Cardinals.
I would have had Farley going a lot higher if it wasn't for the back injuries, and I think that's why you have him falling too. But I have him falling even farther, but I still have them taking a corner in Greg Newsome out of Northwestern. Still a guy who can get after it, and he doesn't come with the medical concerns that Farley comes with, so he'll be the pick here.
With the 17th overall pick, we have the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, let's get some help for them at linebacker. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. He's exceptional in coverage, a great tackler in space too, and he played a ton at Notre Dame. So a guy who can come in and be a leader and an instant impact guy for the Raiders.
I'm on the defensive side of the ball. I have him taking Kwity Paye from Michigan, defensive end. So versatile. He can play the 3-4. Great player out of Michigan. I got him going DN Kwity Paye for the Raiders.
The 18th overall pick, we have the Miami Dolphins. We're coming off a 10-6 season and still not making the playoffs. It's hard to believe. We'll start with you, Dad.
You need to protect Tua. I think they're on the offensive line. I got him taking the tackle from Virginia Tech, Christian Darrisaw is how you say his name, I believe. I got him going O-line there for the Dolphins.
I already got the protection earlier with Penei Sewell, so I'm going to get a guy who on the other side of the ball can rush the passers. I like Kwity Paye for them, the uber-athletic edge rusher with a nice motor. I think Flores, coming from that defensive background, will be able to develop Paye into an all-pro type player.
And we're finally into the playoffs. We can finally get some good teams going on. Oh, wait, we're staying in the Cowboys division. It's not going to be great. With the 19th overall pick, we have the Washington football team at 7-9.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Zaven Collins out of Tulsa here, a big physical linebacker. Some people think he's an outside linebacker. I think he can play inside linebacker. His physicality in the run game is what Ron Rivera is going to fall in love with.
Well, I'm on the defensive side of the ball here. This is where I have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah going to Washington. Can do everything. Smooth, fast. I think it's a great steal for Washington to pick him up. Could be better than Micah Parsons someday. We'll wait and see how that plays out, but that's a steal for Washington with him as the number 19th pick.
With the 20th overall pick, we have the Chicago Bears. Start with you, Dad.
Offensive line here, I got Tevin Jenkins going, the tackle from Oklahoma State. It won't excite the Bears Nation until they watch him play. He'll be a dominant all-pro tackle. He's mean, nasty. He fits Chicago perfectly. Tevin Jenkins to the Bears at 20.
I have Devontae Smith falling to the Bears. I had him falling to 20, so this is where the Bears capitalize him. All the concerns about the height and the weight, more than so the weight, are gonna hurt him, and he's gonna fall, and he's gonna make a lot of people pay when he heads in Chicago. Although he won't be able to make people pay a few years once he finally gets some good quarterback play with him. But I really do love Devontae Smith. Just falls for me.
I think you hit it on the head. I think you had it on the head right there. It's tough to look great with that quarterback situation.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
I wonder if that's the farthest a Heisman Trophy winner has ever dropped that's entered the draft. Has to be up there. It's one of them. It'll be interesting to see.
No, that's why it's going to be wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 21st, we have the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, this is where I have Caleb Farley going, the cornerback. He's the best corner in this class to me. Injury concerns. Colts feel good enough about taking that risk right there, and he's going to come in, and he's a guy who could win Defensive Rookie of the Year with the impact he's going to have shutting down guys on the outside.
Yeah. I've got the Colts going outside linebacker Azeez Ojulari. There you go. Outside linebacker from Georgia. Great burst. And you know what I found in one of the descriptions about him, JT? He has great bend.
Oh, yeah.
So he is going to put some pressure on the quarterback. So Ojulari, outside linebacker, going to the Colts.
With the 22nd overall pick, we have the Tennessee Titans. Start with you, Dad.
Titans are going to... They have an interesting decision to make here. I think they're going to go wide receiver with Elijah Moore from Ole Miss. He's a slot receiver. He's not huge, but he's got great hands, and I think they've got some weapons. I think he adds that. I think it's a really good pickup for the Titans, and it'll surprise some people with Elijah Moore, the receiver from Ole Miss.
Really like that, and they definitely need to figure out some type of Corey Davis replacement throughout the draft. But I have them addressing the back end of the defense. They have to replace so many guys back there. They go and grab Trevon Morgan, safety out of TCU. A lot of people's top safety in this draft. He can come back there, pair with Kevin Byard, and help shut opposing offenses down.
The 23rd overall pick, we have the New York Jets, who acquired this pick from the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, the Jets grab Zach Wilson. Time to get him some protection, whether that's as an offensive guard or a right tackle. This is where I have Tevin Jenkins coming in. You mentioned how nasty he is. That's the thing I love about him. I think he'll get after it. Jets fans are going to fall in love with him very quickly, and I think he can be an all-pro type guard.
I've got the Jets going defense. Cornerback, Greg Newsome second. Yeah. You already mentioned him. He falls down here to get one of the top 2 or 3 cornerbacks at 23rd. They're very excited about. He'll start right away for the Jets. They'll be very happy with Newsome at 23.
With the 24th overall pick, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm going to start us off on this one.
Okay.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have to go running back here. First running back off the board. It's going to be Najee Harris. And they have James Conner's gone. You know, Benny Snell is not, when he played in the games, he has not proven that he can be the number 1. So we go Najee Harris. He really elevates our offense, takes some pressure off Ben in Ben's final year probably. So hopefully elevates that 7th Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Steelers agree, need a running back. I think they're going to go back and forth on the offensive line. You know, with Tevin Jenkins off the board, I think it makes the decision a little easier because the other guys are already gone. So I think they take Najee Harris here. I think they're excited about that. We can draft more linemen in the next few rounds, but he's a potential difference maker. Go Steelers! Here we go.
I agree, clean sweep here. The Steelers have a great vision and plan, and that's my favorite thing about Najee is the vision he has, sifting through, finding those holes, and the ability to shake off tacklers. He's going to look great as a Steeler.
Be the Le'Veon Bell. It's not money hungry. Here we go. 25th overall pick, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who acquired this pick from the LA Rams.
Yeah, this is where Elijah Moore comes in for me. I just think they want to continue to add weapons on the outside. I like some of the guys there they already have, but can never have too many receivers. I think, as you mentioned, he does have good hands and adds a little bit of an explosive element that Trevor Lawrence is really going to like.
I think they go defense here. Trayvon Moehrig, safety from TCU. I think they go with him. I think Urban Meyer coming in, he's got this leader on offense, and now he wants his back end leader on the defense. And he wants to start with them. This is the culture. This is how we're going to play. This is what we're going to do. He drafts those guys right away. Moehrig to the Jags at 25.
With the 26th overall pick, I think it's the furthest they've ever drafted in the franchise career is the Cleveland Browns.
Probably true.
Yeah, beat your guys' Steelers. That's right, in the playoffs. That was fun.
Oh, it's fun to watch our teams in the playoffs, isn't it? Okay,
that's good. Yeah, if he wants to go there. So I think they're going to go D tackle Christian Barmore from Bama. He's big. He's power. He's a run stopper. He clogs up the middle there. Unfortunately, that won't make life for Najee Harris any easier, but it's a good pickup for the Browns there.
Yeah, D tackles definitely need for them, but so is linebacker. I have them going Jamin Davis. This is a guy who's a ton of the draft experts crushing there, a guy who can get done the run game, is really exceptional in coverage as well. So I think Cleveland will like securing that linebacker spot for the long term.
With the 27th overall pick, we have the Baltimore Ravens. I'm seeing a lot of Steelers division opponents out here. Best division in football, no surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go, Chief.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rashad Bateman here, the exceptional route runner. Get a guy who pairs opposite Marquise Hollywood Brown really well. Hollywood Brown takes the top off. Bateman can win over the middle with exceptional route running. Lamar's really going to like this guy.
So I'm go back and forth on two wide receivers here. I actually have them taking Terrence Marshall.
Oh, yeah.
The other receiver from LSU, who's 6'3", quick, fast. I think he's a sleeper. A little bit. He's not really on people's radar as much. So I have the Ravens going Terrence Marshall, receiver.
With the 28th overall pick, we have the New Orleans Saints.
So here's where I have Rashad Bateman going.
Yeah.
And so again, the Saints had to. They were hoping they could have the choice of both. They end up with Rashad Bateman. They're still really excited about it. He's all the things you said. He's a great route runner. He's big, strong, great player. It's a good pickup for the Saints and a great spot for Bateman to fall.
Yeah, it was a great spot for Bateman there. And I'm going to go with another receiver, but it's not Terrence Marshall. It's Kadarius Toney, the shiftiness, the speed, the ability in the return game. The way Sean Payton is going to be able to draw up plays and use this guy, and the way his skill set pairs opposite Michael Thomas is really attractive. I would love to see him in a Saints uniform. It'll just be interesting to see if they have a quarterback who can take advantage of those skill sets.
That's a good point. Very good.
With the 29th overall pick, we have the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, this is where I have them going. Liam Eichenberg, offensive tackle out of Notre Dame. They need to replace that right tackle spot, and since they have to kick a guard inside in Elton Jenkins to replace Corey Linsley, who left for the Chargers, this is a guy in Liam Eichenberg who can play guard or tackle. He comes in there. The Notre Dame pedigree, I think, is something the Packers are going to love because they always go old school. I would draft a wide receiver here. We know that's not going to happen.
I know. I was thinking the same thing, trying to figure out how they could draft a receiver, but I know they won't. I think they go cornerback. Asante Samuel from Florida State. Great body and ball skills. He's only 5'10". People are a little concerned about that, but he's a great cover corner. I think he ends up at the Packers.
With the 30th overall pick, we have the Buffalo Bills coming at 13-3.
So the Bills, got a great team. They've got a lot of things going on. I think they're so excited that Zaven Collins is still around, the linebacker from Tulsa. He's a tackling machine, and they're going to love to have him there. I think he starts from day one in Buffalo at linebacker, and with the 30th pick, Zaven Collins.
Yeah, this is a team that the reason they lost the AFC Championship is because they couldn't cover on the outside. They only have Tre'Davious White. So to me, they're going to go in this draft and get another one of those corners. I have them taking Eric Stokes out of Georgia. I think he's an exceptional corner as well, a real physical guy, and gives them another guy to try to match up with those weapons the Chiefs have.
With the 31st overall pick, we have the Baltimore Ravens, who took this pick from the Chiefs.
Yeah, the reason they made this trade is because they traded away Orlando Brown. Let's go get Brown's replacement. Dylan Radins, North Dakota State offensive tackle. The other North Dakota State guy we have in the draft coming up here. And I think Radins is a physical guy, and I think he will be a really good right tackle in the NFL.
That's a great pick. I actually have him on the other side of the ball. I have him picking up a DN from Penn State, Jason Owe.
Owe, yep.
Owe, and 6'5", 257. Great bend, I think he has. So I think they're gonna go deep. They're gonna go defense because the Ravens love defense.
With the final pick in our annual mock draft, we have the Super Bowl champions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who's gonna help out Tom Brady?
Well, this is where I was kind of surprised as I went through my mock draft and had the players ranked on one side and all this. That for some reason I never checked this guy off, and I kind of went back. I was like, God, he's still available, and that's J.C. Horn, the cornerback from South Carolina. He is still available there. And so I think that's a heck of a pickup. They're going to be like, they got one of the premier corners, a top 3 corner in the country. They picked up the last pick. I think it's really impressive. I think they go cornerback J.C. Horn.
Yeah, I'd be stunned if he fell here, especially if Greg Newsome was drafted over him. But for the Buccaneers, it's so nice to be able to bring all these guys back. A luxury pick. Let's get a guy a little younger to help replace Ndamukong Suh eventually. One of my draft crushes, Levi Onwuzurike out of Washington, the violent defensive tackle who explodes off the ball. He can come in as a rotational guy and provide some interior pass rush ability for the Super Bowl champs.
So I want to make a comment here that I find really interesting. And I think it'd be interesting to see if you look back in draft history, that the first school in the Big Ten to have 2 players drafted in our mock draft is Northwestern. right?
Northwestern, I think so.
And so when was it not Ohio State or Michigan or Penn State?
Because we know it's the first time it was ever Northwestern.
So it would, I mean, so I just think it's really interesting when you think about Slater and
it's Alabama.
and no Big Ten schools.
Ten.
Oh,
Big
Ten,
Ten
yeah,
schools.
Big Ten, okay.
Yeah, to just think that Newsom and Slater are going to go in the first round.
Yep.
And to have them two come off the board before any other Big Ten team has a second player, I just think that's shocking. And a credit to Pat Fitzgerald and that program he's built at Northwestern. I think that's an amazing stat.
Yeah. You got a question, I'll throw mine in. What was the player that you didn't get to pick that it killed you to leave out of the first round? For me, it was Terrence Marshall. That was the guy I really do love his ability. Who was the guy that hurt you to leave out?
I would say probably Joseph Osai.
Yeah.
He put so much pressure on the defense in that, so it's probably him. I'd say that's the one. So good stuff.
Yeah, it was fun.
What an episode, if I have to say so myself. I'm just amazed to listen to these two talk about their drafts. And it'll be amazing to watch on draft night, watch these two go at it, hoping that their picks are right. And with my pick, I think I'm going to go JT takes this year in the mock draft. I'm looking at his draft board. It's a little bit more. I think I see JC Horn's going 12 on one and 32nd on the other. There's something going on right around there. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jack Wistersill.
I'm JT Wistersill.
I'm Tom Wistersill.
Welcome to another edition of
From the Couch.
See you later.